Everyone dreams of success. Everyone desires to live a life of abundance, happiness, and fulfillment. Yet despite all the goals we set, all the books we read, and the motivation we feel, most of us still struggle to achieve what we want in life. Why is that? What if I told you the answer isn't out there? It's not some missing secret that you haven't discovered yet. The truth is simple. The barriers between you and success are rooted in how you think, what you believe, and most importantly, what you do every single day. Today, I'm going to walk you through why you haven't achieved the success you dream of and how you can change that. The enemy of success. Success starts with clarity. Many of us say we want to be successful, but we don't even know what success looks like for us. Without a clear vision, it's impossible to chart a course to get there. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I was stuck in a rut. I didn't have any clear goals or direction. I wanted more out of life, but every time I set out to achieve something, I felt lost. I kept asking myself, why am I not successful one day? A mentor said to me, Brian, you can't hit a target you can't see. That's when I realized my vision was unclear. So I sat down and mapped out exactly what I wanted. Not just vague dreams, but specific, actionable goals. That's when everything started to change. Without a clear, compelling vision of where you want to go, you'll wander aimlessly. Success requires a roadmap. Start by defining your destination. The fear of failure. After you set a clear vision, what's the next obstacle? Fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. Most people are paralyzed by the idea of failing. When I first launched my own business, I was filled with excitement. I thought I had it all figured out. But soon, things went wrong. I wasn't making the sales I expected. The business struggled, and eventually I had to close it down. I felt defeated, embarrassed. But here's the truth: I didn't fail. The experience taught me valuable lessons, things I could only learn by going through it. Failure isn't final. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. Success is built on the foundation of failure. The people who succeed are not those who never fail, but those who learn from their failures and keep moving forward. Lack of discipline and consistency. Discipline and consistency, these are the real keys to success. So many people give up too soon, just when they're about to make a breakthrough. Why? Because they lack the discipline to keep going. Years ago, I decided to start waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. At first, it was difficult. I was tempted to hit the snooze button, but I forced myself out of bed because I knew that discipline is what separates successful people from everyone else. It wasn't easy, but over time, I built momentum. That one habit changed my entire life. It gave me more time to work on my goals and instilled a sense of pride in myself. Discipline isn't about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary. If you want to achieve success, you must be consistent in your efforts. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of disciplined actions repeated over time. Self-doubt. Another huge barrier to success is self-doubt. We're often our own worst enemies, telling ourselves we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to achieve our dreams. When I started speaking and writing books, I questioned myself constantly. Who am I to teach others about success? But the more I spoke, the more I realized that every successful person had doubts at some point. What made the difference was their ability to move forward despite those doubts. Self-doubt is normal, but it doesn't have to control you. The key is to take action even when you don't feel ready. Confidence grows through experience. Procrastination, the silent killer of dreams. How many times have you put off starting that project or taking that first step? We often convince ourselves that we'll start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. I once had a book idea that I was really excited about, but I kept telling myself I wasn't ready to write it. Weeks turned into months, and before I knew it, a year had passed. One day, I realized that my hesitation was rooted in fear. I was afraid the book wouldn't be good enough, so I kept delaying it. The day I sat down and just started writing, everything changed. That book became one of my best-selling titles. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start today. Every day you procrastinate, you're delaying your success. A lack of focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From social media to emails to constant notifications, it's easy to lose focus. But success demands concentration. I used to multitask all the time, thinking I was getting more done. But the truth is, multitasking only divides your attention and reduces your effectiveness. I learned to block out time for focused work, and that's when I started seeing real progress. Success requires focus. Cut out the distractions and give your goals the attention they deserve. Surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Your environment plays a crucial role in your success. Who you surround yourself with will either lift you up or pull you down. When I was younger, I spent a lot of time with people who didn't support my goals. They were negative, always complaining, and never making progress. Eventually, I realized that if I wanted to succeed, I needed to be around people who inspired me. So, I sought out mentors and friends who were already living the life I wanted. That shift in my environment changed everything. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Success is not an accident. It's a deliberate choice built on clear vision, discipline, focus, and the right mindset. If you've been struggling to achieve success, ask yourself what's holding me back. Identify those barriers, and then commit to overcoming them today. Your future is waiting. Are you ready to seize it? Lack of personal growth. Success is not just about working harder, it's about becoming better. The person you are today is not capable of achieving the success you dream of. That's why personal growth is key. I wasn't always a big reader, but once I discovered the power of personal development books, my life changed. I made it a goal to read at least 1 book a week on success, leadership, and personal growth. Every time I learned something new, I became more capable of achieving my goals. Growth became my greatest asset. And to achieve the success you desire, you must commit to lifelong learning and continuous personal development. Invest in yourself, and you'll see results. Not taking responsibility. One of the hardest truths to accept is that your life is a direct result of the choices you've made. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your lack of success. But the moment you take full responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain the power to change it. There was a time when I felt stuck in my career. I blamed my boss, the economy, and everything else. But then I realized the problem was me. I wasn't taking the necessary actions. Once I took responsibility for my own success, everything began to change. Success comes to those who take ownership of their life. Stop blaming, start taking responsibility, and watch your life transform. We're not setting priorities. Many people work hard but still don't achieve success because they aren't working on the right things. Success is about priorities, knowing what's most important, and focusing your efforts on that. I used to try to do everything, thinking that was the way to success. But the more I tried to do, the more I felt overwhelmed and burned out. It wasn't until I learned the power of setting priorities that my business took off. I started asking myself, what are the few key activities that will move the needle the most? When I focused on those, everything changed. Identify the highest impact activities that contribute to your success and focus on them. Don't let distractions or minor tasks steal your attention. Success leaves clues. If you want to achieve something great, find someone who has already done it and learn from them. One of the most overlooked keys to success is having a mentor. Early in my career, I was fortunate enough to find a mentor who had already achieved the success I wanted. He guided me, gave me advice, and helped me avoid mistakes. That relationship saved me years of trial and error. Every time I applied his wisdom, I moved closer to my goals. Find a mentor who has walked the path you want to walk. Their experience and guidance will fast-track your success. Many people never achieve success because they settle for mediocrity. They're afraid to dream big, afraid to push themselves to their limits. But greatness requires going beyond what's comfortable. There was a time when I accepted mediocrity in my own life. I was comfortable, but I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't stretching myself or challenging myself to reach my full potential. It wasn't until I made the decision to raise my standards and stop settling that I started seeing extraordinary results. Don't settle for a life of mediocrity. Raise your standards, challenge yourself, and push beyond your comfort zone. You've learned the reasons why you haven't achieved the success you desire. But now the power is in your hands. It's time to break free from the limitations holding you back. It's time to build a clear vision, face your fears, stay disciplined, and take ownership of your life. Remember, success is not something that happens by accident. It's something you create every day through your thoughts, actions, and decisions. The question is no longer why you can't achieve success. The question is, are you ready to commit to the journey and become the person you need to be to reach your dreams? The time to start is now. Next, 7 best lessons on goal setting. 2024 is a blank canvas waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. But to truly seize the potential of the new year, you must master the art of goal setting. What if I told you that this year could be the year that changes everything? What if you had the roadmap to achieve everything you've ever dreamed of? It's not just about setting goals, it's about setting the right goals, following through with deliberate action, and seeing them come to fruition. Today, we'll dive into the 7 best lessons on goal setting for 2024, lessons that will transform how you think, plan, and act. These aren't just tips, they are life-changing strategies that, if applied with consistency and discipline, will guarantee that you reach new heights this year. Let's begin. Lesson 1, define your why. The first lesson is perhaps the most important. Define your why. Why do you want to achieve the goals you set for yourself? Without a clear understanding of the reason behind your goals, it's all too easy to lose motivation when the going gets tough. Imagine you're on a journey without a destination. You'd find yourself lost, confused, and wandering aimlessly. That's what it's like when you don't have a clear reason behind your goals. But when you define your why, you set your internal compass. Every step you take, every obstacle you face becomes manageable because you know exactly where you're headed and why it's important to you. Think about a time in your life when you had a goal, but your heart wasn't really in it. Maybe you were working towards something because someone else wanted it for you, or because it seemed like the right thing to do. How much harder was it to stay motivated? Now compare that to a time when you had a goal that you were truly passionate about, when your why was clear. How much easier did it become to push through challenges and stay on course? Lesson 2, set clear, specific goals. The next lesson is about specificity. One of the most common reasons people fail to achieve their goals is because their goals are too vague. Vague goals lead to vague results. If you say, I want to get in shape, what does that mean? Does it mean losing weight, building muscle, improving your endurance? Without specifics, you won't know what you're working towards, and you won't know when you've achieved it. A clear, specific goal might be, I will run 5 kilometers 3 times a week and lose 10 pounds by the end of March now. That's a goal you can work towards, measure, and track. It's tangible. You can create a plan around it. Specific goals allow you to visualize exactly what success looks like, and they motivate you to take action every day. Let's break it down. Instead of setting broad goals like I want to earn more money, ask yourself, how much more money do I want to earn? By when? How am I going to do it? What's my step-by-step plan? The clearer and more specific your goal, the better your chances of achieving it. Lesson 3, write your goals down. This lesson is about turning your thoughts into something tangible. There is magic in writing your goals down. When you write something down, it becomes real. It goes from being just a thought in your mind to something you can see and touch. Studies have shown that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. Why? Because writing your goals makes them concrete. It clarifies your thinking and forces you to be specific. It also acts as a reminder. Every time you look at your written goals, you reconnect with your vision and your why. Get a journal, a piece of paper, or even a whiteboard. Write down your goals in the present tense, as if you've already achieved them. I earn $100,000 a year. I run 5 kilometers with ease. I am in the best shape of my life. This not only programs your subconscious mind, but also creates a sense of ownership and responsibility. When you write it down, it's not just a dream anymore, it's a commitment. Lesson 4, break it down. Start with your big goal, and then ask yourself, what can I do today? What can I do this week? What can I do this month to move closer to my goal? Breaking it down not only makes your goals less overwhelming, but it also gives you a roadmap to follow. Imagine you want to run a marathon. The idea of running 42 kilometers all at once might seem impossible. But if you break it down into daily runs, starting with just 2 or 3 kilometers and gradually increasing the distance, it becomes doable. With every step, you're building strength, endurance, and confidence. Lesson 5, create a plan and schedule. Lesson 5 is all about planning and scheduling. Once you've broken down your big goals into smaller steps, the next task is to schedule these steps into your daily, weekly, and monthly routines. If your goals aren't part of your schedule, they won't get done. Life is busy, distractions are everywhere, and if you don't carve out time specifically for goal-related activities, you'll find that days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months without any real progress. Create a schedule that reflects your priorities. If your goal is fitness, schedule your workout sessions. If it's financial, set aside time to work on investments or side projects. The point is to make your goals a non-negotiable part of your routine. Lesson 6, visualize your success. One of the most powerful lessons in goal setting is visualization. The mind is a powerful tool, and when you can vividly imagine your success, it becomes easier to make it a reality. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and visualize yourself achieving your goals. Picture yourself crossing the finish line of that marathon, receiving that promotion, or holding your published book in your hands. The more clearly you can see it in your mind, the more your brain will believe it's possible, and the more likely you are to take the actions necessary to make it happen. Research shows that when we visualize ourselves succeeding, Our brains create neural pathways that are similar to the ones created when we actually perform the task. In other words, visualizing success can mentally prepare you for the challenges and triumphs ahead, giving you a psychological advantage. Lesson 7, take action daily. Now we come to the final and perhaps the most crucial lesson: take daily action. No matter how well you plan, how clearly you visualize, or how compelling your why is, nothing will happen unless you take action. Success is the result of small, consistent actions taken over time. Whether you're working towards a fitness goal, a financial goal, or a personal growth goal, the key is consistency. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now, and do something every single day that moves you closer to your goal. Even small steps compound over time. Now that you've learned these 7 powerful lessons, it's time to take them and apply them to your life. 2024 is waiting for you, and it can be your most successful year yet if you commit to setting clear, specific goals, writing them down, breaking them into manageable steps, and taking action daily. Goal setting is not just about dreaming big, it's about planning smart, working hard, and staying disciplined. If you follow these lessons and stay consistent, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So what will 2024 be for you? Will it be the year you finally break through your limitations and accomplish everything you've ever wanted? The decision is yours. Take action today and make this year your masterpiece. Next, small actions lead to extraordinary results. Most people stand at the base of their dreams like they're facing a mountain. They feel overwhelmed, wondering how they'll ever reach the summit. But let me tell you a secret. You don't need to leap in a single bound. Every monumental achievement begins with a single small action. And it's these small, consistent steps that lead to extraordinary results. Today I want to talk to you about something that can change your life dramatically, and it's something so simple, yet so powerful: small actions. People often believe that to achieve greatness, they need to make massive leaps, sudden changes, or take bold risks. But the truth is, success is built upon small, seemingly insignificant actions, done consistently over time. These actions compound into something extraordinary. Think of an artist creating a masterpiece. They don't finish it in one day. Each brushstroke, each detail, no matter how small, brings them closer to a beautiful result. Life is the same way. The compound effect. Let's start with the compound effect. Have you ever heard of the penny that doubles every day for 30 days? On day 1, it's just a penny. Day 2, it's 2 cents. But by day 30, that 1 penny has grown to over $5 million. This is the power of small actions. At first, they might seem insignificant, but over time, they build upon each other, creating extraordinary results. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who wanted to change his life, but he didn't know where to start. He had big goals, but felt overwhelmed. So he decided to start small. Every morning, he'd wake up 10 minutes earlier than usual. In those 10 minutes, he would read just 2 pages of a book on personal development. That's it, just 2 pages. Months went by, and he slowly increased his time. After a year, he had read over a dozen books. The knowledge and inspiration he gained transformed his mindset. And that small action, waking up just 10 minutes earlier, changed the trajectory of his entire life. Think about it. What are the small habits you can implement today that will lead you toward your goals? Maybe it's making 1 extra phone call a day if you're in sales. Maybe it's setting aside 10 minutes every day to learn a new skill. These little habits might seem trivial, but over time, they create momentum. Small actions create routines, and routines create results. This is where the magic happens. The ripple effect, how small actions influence others. But here's another fascinating aspect: small actions don't just affect you, they ripple outwards and impact others. Let me tell you about a woman named Marie. Marie wasn't a famous CEO or a world-renowned speaker. She was an ordinary woman who started a small habit of writing positive notes to her coworkers every day. At first, it seemed like a small, personal gesture. But over time, those notes lifted people's spirits, encouraged them on tough days, and created a ripple effect of positivity in her entire office. Before long, her small habit had created a culture of encouragement and growth at her workplace. Her small, consistent actions built a community where people felt valued, and that energy transformed the way they worked. One person's small action can ripple out and change the world around them. Never underestimate the power of your small actions. They have the ability to inspire others. Every smile, every act of kindness. Every piece of advice you offer has the potential to create a ripple effect. The extraordinary isn't always about what you achieve, it's about the lives you touch along the way. The power of consistency, pushing through when it's tough. Now let's talk about consistency. If there's one thing that separates those who achieve extraordinary success from those who don't, it's this: they keep going when it's hard. There will be days when you don't feel like taking that small action. Days when you'll wonder, is this even making a difference? But those are the moments that define your success. The real progress happens when you stay consistent, even when it feels like nothing is changing. I remember a time early in my career when I was just starting out in sales. I had days when I would make call after call with no success. It felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. But I knew deep down that every call I made was bringing me closer to the breakthrough. And sure enough, after weeks of consistent effort, things began to turn around. I started closing deals, building relationships, and growing my business. The lesson? Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Here's a principle I live by: the 1% rule. It's about getting just 1% better every single day. That may not seem like much, but over time, it creates exponential growth. If you improve by just 1% every day, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. It's these small, incremental improvements that lead to extraordinary success. So ask yourself, what can I do today to get just 1% better? Whether it's improving a skill, developing a habit, or learning something new, focus on progress, not perfection. Small actions create big dreams. Believe in the process. Sometimes the hardest part of taking small actions is believing they'll lead to big results. But let me remind you of something important. Every extraordinary person you've ever admired started with small actions. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple overnight. Elon Musk didn't create space in a week. Every great achievement was built brick by brick, day by day, small action by small action. You have the power to create extraordinary results in your life. But it all starts with what you do today. It starts with the small action you're willing to take now. It's easy to feel discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But remember, success is not about instant gratification, it's about trusting the process. There's a famous quote that says, "Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks. Every hour your small actions are those bricks. Keep laying them down, and over time, you'll build something truly extraordinary." The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with this thought: the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. What step will you take today? What small action can you implement right now that will bring you closer to your dreams? Remember, no action is too small when it's done consistently. Over time, it compounds, builds momentum, and creates results beyond what you ever thought possible. So start today. Start now. Take that small action. You never know, it might just lead you to something extraordinary. Remember, this extraordinary success isn't about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing small things with extraordinary consistency. Keep going, and soon, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. The role of patience, waiting for the harvest. We live in a world that craves instant results. But one of the greatest truths about success is that you must be patient. Small actions don't yield immediate results. It's like planting seeds in a garden. You water them every day, tend to them, but you don't see them sprout immediately. But here's the catch. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. Beneath the surface, those seeds are growing roots, laying the foundation for an incredible harvest. The same goes for your efforts in life. Whether it's mastering a skill, developing your career, or working on a personal project, your small daily actions are creating the foundation for future success. Have faith that your hard work will bear fruit. Be patient with the process. Small actions create discipline, a key to long-term success. Discipline is one of the most critical traits for achieving anything extraordinary. But discipline isn't something you develop overnight, it's cultivated through small actions. Every time you make the choice to take a small step, even when you don't feel like it, you're building the muscle of discipline. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who only take action when they're motivated. They are the ones who take action consistently, even when they're not. That's discipline. Let me share a story about a friend of mine. He struggled for years to maintain discipline in his fitness routine. One day, he decided to take a small action, committing to just 5 push-ups a day. That's it. Over time, 5 push-ups became 10, then 20. And soon he was working out for an hour every day without even thinking about it. It wasn't the push-ups themselves that made the difference. It was the discipline he built by taking small, consistent actions, overcoming fear through small actions. Many people hesitate to pursue their dreams because they're paralyzed by fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown. But here's something powerful: small actions can dissolve that fear. When you focus on small, manageable steps, the enormity of your goal doesn't seem so overwhelming. Fear thrives on uncertainty and the unknown, But taking small actions gives you control. It gives you certainty. You can't control everything, but you can control what you do right now, today. I once worked with a young entrepreneur who was terrified of public speaking. The idea of giving a speech in front of hundreds of people made him break out in a cold sweat. So, we started small. His first action? Speaking in front of a mirror for just 2 minutes a day. Then, he practiced with a friend. Step by step, his confidence grew. That small, daily action conquered a fear that had held him back for years. The power of reflection learned from every small action. Reflection is one of the most underrated habits when it comes to achieving success. After taking action, big or small, take time to reflect. What did you learn? What can you improve? How did it feel? Small actions are valuable, but only if you learn from them. Every day, ask yourself, what small action did I take today? And what did it teach me? This simple habit can turn your small actions into a powerful learning process. In my early career, I used to keep a journal of every small step I took toward my goals. At the end of each day, I'd write down what I did, how I felt, and what I learned. Over time, this reflection helped me fine-tune my efforts and improve my performance. It's a simple practice, but it can lead to extraordinary growth. Turning setbacks into small wins. Let's talk about setbacks. Everyone faces them, but it's not the setback that defines you, it's how you respond. And often the best way to bounce back from a setback is to focus on small wins. When you're knocked down, it can feel impossible to get back on track with a massive leap. Instead, focus on small actions that rebuild your confidence and momentum. Each small win, no matter how minor, reminds you that you're moving forward. I remember working with an athlete who had suffered a major injury. She was devastated and thought her career was over. But we focused on small victories. Her first win was simply walking for 10 minutes without pain. But the next was increasing that walk by another minute. Over time, those small wins compounded as she returned to her sport stronger than ever. You will face setbacks, but you can always create small wins to get back on your path toward extraordinary results. I hope by now you realize just how powerful your small actions can be. Success is not reserved for the lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to take small, consistent steps toward their dreams. What's one small action you can take today that will move you closer to your goal? It could be something as simple as reading a few pages of a book, making a call you've been putting off, or even writing down your goal. No action is too small. Start where you are, use what you have, and take that first step. One small action, day after day, will lead you to an extraordinary life. Now it's your turn. What small action will you take today to lead you toward an extraordinary future? Comment below, and let's inspire each other to keep moving forward.